Thanks for staying with us on News at Prime. If you've just tuned in, a very good evening to you. I'm Pastor Tshwane. Now, Metalworkers Union NUMSA wants the City of Tshwane to intervene and ensure that the Metro's BRT workers receive transport allowance. The Tshwane Rapid Transit does currently offer workers a transport allowance, but the union believes it's not enough. More on this, I'm joined by NUMSA spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola. Good evening, Phakamile. Thanks for joining us this evening. You say the money allocated is simply not enough.
Yes, good evening, and good evening to your viewers. Thank you so much for having me on your show. We've got a situation where at the agencies that provide services to the Arieng BRT service of the City of Tshwane, those agencies are not providing adequate transport allowance for workers who are working awkward hours. So as you correctly said in your bulletin earlier, TRT, which is Tshwane Rapid Transit, has a transport allowance, but only of 1,100 Rand, and that's been the case since 2014. Tshwane Affected Investment Operation is not offering work. It's currently only offering 600 Rand. And in the case of Extreme Tech, it's also there's no allowance there at all. And this creates a problem because these are workers who are earning very low wages. At the same time, we all know that in South Africa there is no safe, reliable public transport system, especially if you have to be at work at 4 a.m. and if you knock off after 9 p.m. We are just wanting these agencies to adhere to what the Basic Conditions of Employment Act says about ensuring that workers have transport allowance or that they are transported to and from work.
So as far as talks are concerned and how you're moving forward in trying to ensure that there is better allocation for transport, what response are you getting?
Well, the one thing that happened was that we marched yesterday to the City of Tshwane. The reason we went to the City of Tshwane was because these agencies blame the City of Tshwane for the fact that they are unable to adequately make this allocation. And so we thought in that case we would involve the City of Tshwane directly in this issue because according to the way the setup is, at least that's what we've been told, they are the ones who can solve this for us. When we handed over a memorandum of demand to the MMC of Roads and Transport, Dikeledi Selowa, she was the one who received the memorandum, and she made an indication that a meeting would take place over the weekend with all the agencies to resolve this issue so that workers are not disadvantaged, so that the implementation of the BCA can be fully implemented with respect to transport allowance.
So you're calling for 2,500 on the one end, or the allocation of transport for those who need it at that time?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you have to see this from the perspective of the work that they do. These are workers who are working in the transport sector, and yet the company that they work for, which provides transport to the public, can't provide them with transport. It's a little bit ridiculous. We shouldn't even be having a conversation about this, quite frankly. This is something that can be easily resolved. Either the employer must provide transport, and this is the case in in any bus company that operates in this country, workers are transported from home to work because of the awkward hours. So we don't understand why these agencies think that the situation is different in their case. If they're unable to provide transport, then they must provide adequate transport allowance. That's it.
Now, should these conversations not go as planned, or perhaps the outcome not be what you expect, what is your plan of action?
Workers at Extreme Tech are already on strike. They are one of the agencies that are responsible for collecting the fares at Arieng. The members, the workers in the other two agencies, have instructed us to serve the city with a notice to strike should the city not resolve these demands in a satisfactory manner. Because for them, this issue of transport allowance is really a burning issue. They've raised it for many years and not been taken seriously. And now the cost of transport, it's just hitting them hard. They can't afford it. But beyond that, it's not safe. Many of these workers are women. And imagine walking to find transport or to access transport at 3 in the morning or after 9 p.m. at night. It's very, very unsafe. So we do need the city to take this seriously. If they don't take this seriously, unfortunately, all services will be shut down when these workers embark on strike action.
So what time frames have been set, Phakamile?
They have to respond to us by Wednesday, the 18th of May, close of business. And they have given us a promise that they will do so.
Is this the first time you've raised the issues of transport?
We have recently started organizing workers in these agencies. Our understanding is that these issues have been raised before through other trade unions, but it has not been resolved. So it is an issue that we found to be a burning issue amongst workers. And really, it's this whole drive. They're the ones driving this because it really, for them, has been an ongoing issue for a long time that they've wanted to be resolved.
Very well. Thank you for your time. Thanks for weighing in here, public. That was Phakamile Hlubi-Majola, spokesperson of Metalworkers Union NUMSA, as NUMSA demands the City of Tshwane intervene in ensuring that workers receive transport allowances, an increase in transport allowance.